have decided for Indigo, they'll forget about Igbo presidency and embrace culture. Iwayamu. The President General of the Ohaneze Indigo, Chief Emmanuel Iwayamu, has revealed his agenda for the Igbo people. He said this during an interview with Punch newspaper where he reacted to recent occurrences in Nigeria's political system since the swearing in of the current President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Chief Iwayamu, who spoke about the support of the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obama by the social cultural organization, said that Ohaneze supported Peter Obi not because he was only Igbo candidate, but he showed capacity and promise, and they believe that he was given power. If he was given power to do well, he would do well. The President General further revealed that it was because of his ethnicity that he was denied Nigeria's presidency after contesting for 3 times. He, however, stated that because of his love for Nigeria, he has decided as President General of the Indigo for them to forget about Igbo presidency. He explained that Indigo have the capacity to transform their place on their own through their own town union culture. I ran for presidency of Nigeria 3 times, but I didn't get it. My colleagues at every level, either in secondary school or university, and people who've worked with me know my capacity and they know I'm qualified to be the president of Nigeria. I know part of it is because of my ethnicity, and that is normal. That's the thing. When you've been suppressed so many times, you just start to accept it. But you think you're not accepting it, but you technically are. We have talked about it several times and we've decided to forget about it. The Igbos have what we call a town union culture, which is very important in Igbo land. We have capacity to develop our place, be it agriculture, education, culture, and industry. We have the money and resources to provide that leadership in the next 2 years. Well, I think it's definitely a thing where, like, as Igbos, it's not a thing for you to now beg for power, because when you're requesting and saying, "Oh, let us be represented," in the power dynamic, you make yourself lower. It's like you're asking to be given something that, to be honest, if you don't need a validation or ask from, it's fine. I think if we're gonna ask for anything, it's just not the disrespect. Basically, what I can get from what he's saying is that Igbos should basically mind their business and, really go in on developing themselves and developing their region. However, because of this system, it looks like the system is now set up against Igbos, because even your president, your governors in Igbo state or in the southeast region are controlled by those at the top. So what do you want to do? Your hospitals, infrastructural changes, proper reforms for the southeast only? Yes, that would be such a challenge, because if your governor is not on board and then your governor is the person that approves and allows for all the changes, then what would then happen? But I think it's a thing where Igbos can identify themselves as they are Igbos, but then within the identity of being a Nigerian citizen, it's a bit tough to say on that one, if Igbos can identify as that. But the problem is the coexisting part of it. Of course, we are here through history, but there's no excuse for how we're so intolerant, and I guess that's why we don't move forward. And I don't think, even before colonization or all that, I don't think we were people that really evolved that well to move forward. Because if we really evolved, obviously we were interrupted, but if we really evolved, we would not be having these conversations in this day and time. And what now happens is you're oppressed so much that you become hyper selfish, and it's all about you. So you don't associate yourself with your environment. And that kind of thinking, you can see it even in religion, where people would ignore the reality of how governments, how the economy work, and people believe in what they believe in, just to detach themselves. And because they don't want to be affected, or they think they don't want to be affected, or they are not affected, they just detach. And it's not the same thing that's happening tribally, where the President General of the Indigo is saying that Igbo should basically work on themselves. They have the skills to build by themselves. You are basically detaching, and I think, how has that worked for us in other scenarios? I don't think it's the best thing. But I also don't think that Igbo should then take a stance of begging or, asking to be tolerated. It just in my personal thing, it just doesn't look good. So it doesn't really say anything, in my personal opinion. So this decision, is it the best? Put what you think in the comment section below. Do you actually think it would yield results? I think when you decide to hyper focus on yourself, you can definitely achieve results, but we can't be delusional to not think that we are part of a system and we just operate outside of it and independently of it. There's no how you'd say you want to live in a place and not care about the political decisions being made, how systemically it's not even aligned for you to succeed. Everything is basically not in your favor. So you can decide to focus on yourself, but you also cannot deny the system that you exist in. So saying you want to do all this, I mean, it's a good way to think, but in reality, would it actually work when you have, such prejudice and hate? Because now with the government and what they've done, playing the ethnic card, it would then affect how Igbos are treated on different parts of the nation. And then what would that then lead to? Because the trigger and the tension has increased so much that in the next how many months, what would be happening? What would then be? Would then be an outpour or like a protest, or even worst case, break out into fighting, civil war? Obviously, that's very extreme, but like if things keep going on like this, we can't be surprised. Anyways, put what you think about this decision in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.